Man, I am not going to lie. This case just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. I don't know why the hell I got this light on. But it's getting crazier and crazier. We're talking about, obviously, the Idaho 4 case. And for many of you guys are already hip to what the case is, so I don't feel like I need to explain too much. 4 people, 4 college students, dead, stabbed brutally in the middle of the night. I have my suspects, as many of you guys already know, who I believe it should be the top suspect at the current moment. But we got some new news coming with this story that we're going to break into today and take a look at. Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
Now, I want to start things off by saying thank you. A lot of people came and checked out the channel yesterday. Appreciate you guys very much. But before I get to you guys in the story, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody else, the Gun Squad that supports these channels, my network of channels. Guys, truth is I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do without you. So thank you guys so much. And if you too want to join the Gun Squad, if my content is valuable to you, feel free to hit the links down below and do just that. Also, while you're down there, subscribe to my other YouTube channels as well as my Odyssey and Rumble. Follow me on Twitter because you never know when YouTube's going to take me down. I've been doing this for 16 years and I've went down quite a few times. You never know when I'm going to get a strike or suspension, and that's the best way to stay in touch with me. That way, as we rebuild currently, you guys can stay in touch. But let's stop all the shilling and stop all this and let's get to the story. We got a lot of things to look over, including this man, James Curtis Leonard, which we will be talking about here today. But we're going to start things off with the Idaho murders. A lot of things has been going on. We've now learned that the front door was actually left open. So currently, at least to all the information that we know, they slid in the back door and then they left, probably out the front door, and left the door open. But I want to start off with Jack Showalter. Many of you guys know in my last video, I painted him as my #1 suspect, and to be perfectly honest, he is still my #1 suspect, and I'm going to show you why right now. Now, remember when we saw the video at the Grub Hub? We saw Jack Showalter. We saw him kind of staring down the girls. He seemed like he was stressed when they left him, when they ditched him. And a lot of people were like, well, maybe he didn't even know them girls. Check this out. Maddie Mogan. She actually followed Jack Showalter on, what's this, Instagram? But here's the weird thing about this. He has 0 posts. I have no clue if his posts have been deleted. And it doesn't make sense to me because remember, Jack Showalter was a hunter. It seems to me like he would have posted his posts quite often. But if you look at this, you see Jack Showalter, and in my opinion, there is no coincidences. We've always wanted to know, is the hoodie guy Jack Showalter? To me, there's no coincidence here. Maddie Mogan was following Jack Showalter here. And more than likely, he was following her. He was interested in Maddie. And so with this being the case, I've slightly changed my opinion on whether it was Kaylee or Maddie that was the target of said killer. And so I don't know if you guys know that, but it's just a tidbit I wanted to present to you. But guys, I want to show you this as well. A lady who worked with Jack Showalter, and there's a news story on the, and now a story on the news. I told people the info and they got badgered for it. Okay, so here's what this is. He worked off and on downtown. His LinkedIn, it's on his LinkedIn like this person that posts. I don't know who this person is. He ran after the murders and law enforcement did go to Boise to his parents' home. But I want to show you guys this right here. This is the main thing. This is a Facebook or this is a post. It says, hello, I'm so sorry to hear about the students who were murdered recently. Thank you all for the hard work that you do. I am originally from Boise, but currently living out of state. So I hope I am allowed to give any possible helpful information pertaining to the case. I guess this is them getting a hold of law enforcement. I couldn't help but notice that a young man named Jack may have been a person of interest. This is Jack S. I only bring this up because I used to work with him at Flatbread, which Flatbread is actually on his LinkedIn, okay? And this is the summer of 21, to be exact. I'm not sure how much information you were able to gather from him, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he may have been involved. I hope it's not my own personal bias, as I didn't work with him for long. but there were just some specific behaviors that gave me an eerie vibe. According to my boss, he was a seasonal employee and would be going back to college after the fall, or in the fall. At first, we seemed to be able to work together fairly well, but a few shifts in, his demeanor completely changed. Another female coworker and I were in the middle of a dinner rush, and apparently a mistake was made somewhere. And he saying things I did not do, saying things that I did not do. Saying things like, "You're the dumbest bitch I've ever met," and that's funny. And pacing around, standing super close and getting in my way when I tried to ease the tension, or when I tried to put some space between us. Sorry about that, guys. In an attempt to ease the tension, I decided to play along by saying thank you so much, hoping maybe he would alter course, he would shift course, or at least ease up a little. But instead, he became even more aggressive and started towering over me and shouting. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for that kind of interaction that evening, so I slapped him. She actually put her hands on this man. Not my proudest moment, but it seemed like the safest alternative for me at the time. Being shorter than he is, I got written up for it, and it's on record. So this woman is saying she got written up for it, and it's on record. Now, obviously, with her making this public statement, this is something that could be traced, right? Obviously. But apparently, it was not the first time he had treated other women in the kitchen in a similar fashion. To what extent, I'm not sure. But they all said he had made them feel uncomfortable. It concerns me now that I saw the food truck footage, and if that really is the same Jack, I would definitely keep my eye on him and ask around a little bit more. Something just doesn't sit right with me. I hope this helps, and thank you for taking the time to go through all of these. This is very interesting, don't you think? Obviously, there's some tagging going on here. Stephen Goncalves said in an interview today that Jack left the country without submitting DNA. Now, there's a lot of people that disagree with that concept. But let's just understand that his supposed alibi is after drinking all night, he left at 2 a.m., to drive 5 hours to his parents' cabin. I think that I'll just say this. I don't think there's any possibility that alibi can legitimately be real. But I want to show you guys something else. This is the girl's house, circled in green. In fact, if you go on Google Maps, it's now blurred out. You can't see it anymore. Do you see where that red dot is? That is Jack S.'s apartment. Let that sink in. There's the house, circled in green. There's the little Queen Road that goes right up over the side of it that we constantly see Brian Enton and News Nation walking down. That red dot is Jack's apartment, where Jack's apartment is. And it's insane. I never knew that they lived so close. Jack Showalter's apartment is the red dot. This person says, guessing Kaylee was rude to him at the bar, got him kicked out, and he snapped. Now, if you do remember right, he did get kicked out. He did get kicked out of the bar, is what people are saying. And as we know, it's saying Kaylee, her injuries were significantly more brutal. We'll keep things moving. Here's the front of the apartment complex on Taylor. Third floor apartments, rear windows face the Idaho 4 house. No other properties around them have this direct view. I've included Jack Showalter's apartment across the street from 1122. You see the house? This is the view from Jack Showalter's apartment. That's how close Jack Showalter lived to the apartment. You see how easy it is to get down there? Look at that. Look how easy it probably is to creep down there behind that house. It doesn't seem hard at all. There you go. It's not that hard to see over there. And by the way, that's the room. That's the room the girls were murdered in. You get it yet? This is Jack's apartment, where he's able to see over there, I believe. Yes, I've included Jack's apartment across the street from 1122. There it is. Guys, curious what you guys think about this. By the way, the doors do, I guess, apparently have locks on them in the bedrooms. Now, the Idaho frat house where slain couple spent final hours has no security cameras. Let that sink in. Well, that kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? But hey, if you're drinking and doing college people shit, I wouldn't want security cameras either. Watching me fuck and do drugs and drink and shit like that. You know how college kids are, right? Idaho frat house where slain couple spent final hours has no security cameras, president says. Now, my question is wouldn't it need to be someone that probably knew they didn't have security cameras? By the way, today I'm going to give you guys some body cam footage as police probe victims' movements prior to quadruple homicide in their home, because we got some breaking shit. We got a car that's now wanted. Investigators are still searching for leads in November 12th's quadruple homicide. Police in Moscow, Idaho, on Monday issued a new statement on the killings. Cops are seeking more information on the movement of the victims. They're now, what they're doing now is they're focusing their attention on Ethan and his girlfriend. What were they doing for this missing 4 hours between when they were seen leaving the party and then arriving home at 1 o'clock in the morning? Ethan Chapin and Zana Carnodal visited Ethan's frat house prior to the murders. He said they were told her. Meanwhile, cops contradicted the statements of Kaylee and Clave's father. He said that the police told him that her injuries were significantly more brutal than the others. The cops insist they have not released additional facts to the family. So you got to ask yourself, was this man lying? Is Kaylee's father out here lying? Now, I personally don't think he would be. Or maybe this is just his way of attempting to pressure them into releasing more information. Now, we got some weird things that's happening because I want to show you guys something as well. You see this? Just in case you guys did not know this. The house is back up for rent. As of 2 weeks ago, they actually, I want you to understand, the landlord, the owner of this apartment, put the house right back up for rent. Are they? And I want you to see this because this is funny as shit. I want you to see this. Hold on, where'd it go? Moscow is regarded as a safe suburb at the eastern edge of Idaho, nearing the state of Washington. Now, this is nuts. This house is now back up for rent. Talking about it's a fabulous location in a safe area. Man, there was just 4 people murdered there. And what's weird about this is the police, as of yesterday, removed all of their belongings. I think the police may be wrapping up their investigation there, and it seems a little quick. Now, granted, I believe in property rights, so the owner deserves some sort of restitution for him not being able to rent it back out, but it looks to me like he is all intentions in renting this thing back out. There's going to be some dude that loves like true crime that's going to move in there. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be some, and just in case you guys are interested, it is $2,000. I forgot what the price was. It's $2,000 a month. The home is now $2,000 a month, just so you guys know. University of Idaho students are now living in fear as one co-ed reveals her father gave her a pistol for protection and others are barricading their front doors with chairs at night after 4 classmates were murdered. So the entire area is still scared to death, obviously. I mean, obviously it would be. But there has been a little bit of a break in the case. I want to show you a couple things, actually, real quick. I'm going to show you, hold on, because we have the body cam footage we're going to look at. But I want to show you something else. This guy right here is a YouTuber. He says that the front door was open. Now, I have not been able to confirm this theory, but it sounds to me, because it has been confirmed, that the killers more than likely entered through the slide door. So I want to just paint this picture. The killer enters through the slide door, and I'm gonna show you something else when it comes to killer entering through the slide door. Entered through the slide door, probably went up to Kaylee's room first, got them, came back down. I think the boyfriend, Ethan, caught him in the act of coming out, so he had to kill Ethan, and then, of course, he had to kill Zana. And then he just, in a panic, ran out the front door and left the motherfucker open. Now, you guys know my belief is still that it's Jack. But this car thing throws a monkey wrench, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. This car thing may lead to a completely different person. So, see, on this channel, I just theorize, I look at the facts, I look at some of the rumors, and I give my prediction. I personally still think Jack Showalter is the guy. However, I want you to see this. Does this white Hyundai Elantra hold the key to the gruesome Idaho quadruple student slayings? Cops searched for a vehicle that was in immediate area of the off-campus home on the morning of the murders. Moscow police are asking for information regarding a white Hyundai Elantra. Some of y'all gonna laugh, be like, I can't believe you pronounce Hyundai that way. I don't know how the fuck it's pronounced. I ain't never had a Honda, whatever the fuck. I buy American, bitch. I buy American. Anyway, you know what? I may be wrong. It may be American. I don't fucking know. Regarding a white Hyundai Elantra that was in the immediate area of King Road home on November 13th, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you where they're getting this. Police believe the occupants of the vehicle may have critical information regarding the murder case. Authorities did not elaborate on why they believe the vehicle was somehow involved in the incident, and they said they did not know the car's license plate. Now, we all know about the people found in the home, dead. 3 weeks have went by, and there's been no real breaks in the case. They began removing the items, by the way, the personal items of the girls. That's a sad moment. So the house is up for rent. The girls' belongings are now gone. Are they wrapping up investigation inside the home? It seems a little quick, especially with no one else out there. I mean, with no one else considered, with no actual suspects right now. But let's take a look.
Moscow, Idaho, where one clue could possibly lead to a break in the quadruple murder case. Right now, police are searching for the occupants of a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra with an unknown license plate. Our Alex Capriello joins us live this morning with what you need to know as you're waking up this morning. Good morning to you, Alex.
Hey, good morning to you, Mitch. Yeah, this is a major breakthrough in a case that has so far stumped investigators.
It is. I want to show you guys something, though, okay? Because there's actually body cam. I'm going to show you. Remember the alcohol offense at 3 a.m. at the field right next to the house? Remember that? We'll get back to that news in just a second. I want to show you this. This is the body cam footage from November 13th, 2022 at 3 a.m. Check this shit out. Now, why does this matter? Why does this matter? They are saying that they saw a car, and I think it's right here at the girls, or maybe it's right here. But I'm trying to see. Maybe, let me see. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. If you take a look right here, headlights on and house lights on. Third pick, no lights on the house and a single light where the headlights were. You see the car right here? This is where they are getting. This is where they are getting the car. You see right here, this is outside that house. And they saw this in the body cam footage. Now make no mistake about it. Look at this. Look at this. And make no mistake about this. This came from the body cam footage of them going after, remember the drunk people, the drunk kids in that field? This is from that body cam footage. See the car? See the headlights on? Let that sink in for just a second. Headlights on and house lights on. The third pick had no lights on. You see this shit? Look at the first two. Headlights on, house lights on. Third pick, no lights on whatsoever. Then in the parking lot to the left of a car, a person is walking with a flashlight. With a flashlight. That's what that is, excuse me. Let this sink in. The car, headlights, lights on in the house. Third picture, no lights on at all. Fourth picture, someone walking next to the car with a flashlight. That's very intriguing, don't you think? Let you guys decide what you think about that, right? Let me see what I got here, because I had more. And in case you guys don't know what that incident is, an officer requested a case. Sounds like an officer-initiated stop. This is at 3:01 a.m. in that field. This is at 3:01 a.m. in that field. Now, what am I talking about? Give me just a second. This. Let's take a look at let's take a look at this. This is nothing big.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
We saw him talking to him,
Right.
so we didn't know.
There's three. I'm looking at. It looks like I'm looking at three people on this body cam footage. Here's the thing, though. If that car was already over there and all that, what would these people be doing? I'm not sure that these two were connected. But it's very ironic that right now, as this footage is being captured, there's someone in that house brutally murdering them people right now, it seems. If that white car theory is correct.
So he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
And by the way, the police have 20 minutes of this body cam footage.
I did not hear you.
All right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
20 minutes of this body cam footage is what the police have. See all that? See that right there? See the white car? Do you see the white car? See it right here? See the lights in the house on? That's the house, right there. And you see the white car clearly. And you see a light inside the house on. Or at least it seems like to me. Now, you guys let me know in the comments section, do you agree with that? Maybe you don't, right? But to me, this shit is obvious. To me, this shit is obvious. And the closer they get, the closer you get the footage. This is where they're getting the screenshots. Look back there in the back. It's crazy, ain't it? Right now, obviously, it's being silent right now. For some reason, they're not releasing the audio. For some reason, they're not releasing the audio here. But you got to wonder, why is that car parked there at this exact time? Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But they seem to be focused on this shit a lot. They seem to be focused on this shit a lot. The high under rumors. A sleuth shared alleged story of ex-coworker of man who carried knife to work daily. Check this shit out. The day of the murders, he was no show, no calls, no knife when he returns. Student dies in May, by the way. Pics near victim's house. Look at that shit right there. That's right there at the house. That young man died in May. His name was Hudson. Hudson, right there on Paradise Creek. Hudson's body was found the next morning in the creek, right outside Greek Row. The official cause of death for him was drowning. Interesting, right? So anyway, this is what they're looking for. A potential white Hyundai, or whatever it's called. They believe that could be the image back there. I want you to see this. Don't know if I should post this, but I'm originally from Moscow and most of my family still lives there. Yesterday, someone I know that still lives there called me and told me that they had just spoken with the police. Long story short, he works with a guy who had for months been wearing a hunting knife to work on his belt. He was asked not to bring it to work anymore, and the guy made a big deal about it. Refused and continued to wear it to work. Then after the murders, he no longer was wearing this knife to work. Then asked by coworkers where the knife was, and he was asked to produce it, he refused and threatened to sue them for harassment. That's crazy, ain't it? In addition, This person was known for being punctual and never missing work, and would even come in on days that he wasn't scheduled. The day and the week after the murders, he was a no-call, no-show to work. Why would that be? And lastly, the night of the murders, he was in the vicinity of the food truck at the same time the victims were. The person I know said that this person in question was giving off weird vibes the entire time they worked together. Supposedly, no one on the crew likes working with him because of his weird behavior. Now, I don't know if this is legit. I don't know how much you can take that type of shit seriously, right? But there is something I think is big here. There's a dude by the name of James Curtis Leonard. He missed an entire working employment after these murders. This is the guy we're talking about. He was seen with an injury with his arm wrapped in a large Puro bandage. This is the guy we're talking about. And so, we'll get to this, 'cause I want to show you who this man is. This very same man was arrested last night in Moscow for voyeurism about a mile from King Street with a bandaged arm. This man has a murder on his record. He went to prison for murder. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But this is the man right here, currently arrested for peeping inside of a person's house. This is him right there. Why does he have a large bandage on his arm? It's a good question, right? Here's some of his charges. This is on December 7th. Domestic violence with traumatic injury, assault aggravated with deadly weapon, strangulation, attempted to strangle, and children injury to a child. Okay? These are his recent charges they just picked up this week. This is strange, right? This is strange. But this guy is strange. Now, the white car seen in the body cam footage from the arrest record across the street. There's the murder house. There's the car. Look at that right here by the murder house. Doesn't that look like somebody's walking with the flashlight? Am I wrong? Maybe I am. But article on James Leonard arrested December 7th. Person of interest in the Idaho 4 murder. Carter Kalpoki is an owner of a white Elantra in Moscow, Idaho. That's nuts, ain't it? Let's continue. So they are looking for the car.
Police are right now asking for the public's help to identify the driver or the occupants of that white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Let's put it up on the screen so everyone can take a good look at it. They say anyone who knows someone who drives that type of car should come forward right away. Investigators believe there was at least one person driving it around the time and location when those murders happened, and they could have critical information about that case. Later today, police will continue to remove items from the home where those murders happened. For several hours yesterday, officers were seen gathering personal items belonging to the victims. That's clothing, electronics, golf clubs, and so much more. And it's all going to be sent back to the families. The police chief tells News Nation that this is a necessary step to help bring closure for the victims' families.
It's important to me. It's important for us as a department to go in and take care of the families and get the items for them so that they can have some of those back and some of those memories back that are fond memories.
That's kind of a sad thing, man, seeing them remove the items from the house. It kind of puts like a final, and now the house is back up for rent, supposedly according to that apartments.com. It's strange, like it's eerie, right? Like, I feel things are moving too fast without enough answers.
And while there are no suspects or persons of interest named yet, some of the law enforcement experts that News Nation has been speaking to say that it's pretty unlikely that the detectives would show their full hand at this point.
That's true.
Anyone that has been so-called cleared by the police could certainly be revisited as a suspect later on, say. Mitch?
They are really keeping it close to the vest when it comes to that Idaho investigation, Alex. And you were there for several days earlier this week. You know better than anyone else how close they're keeping it. Can you give us a sense, though, of where they are in this investigation? I know to outward appearances, it seems like they're flailing and they have nothing, but I am sure that
I disagree. I think they got a lot.
Hard,
I think they got a lot.
And have got to be investigating some leads here.
Right. When you ask the police chief about this, he'll tell you that they're just at the fact-gathering stage. I know that sounds kind of vague, but really what that is...
What else is he
just
supposed to say,
continuing
though?
to collect evidence, continuing to collect tips, and building, as much of a case as possible, hoping to follow through on some of those leads. So while it's certainly not at the pace that a lot of folks would like to see this at, or we don't have as many major breakthroughs as hopefully we would like to have at this point. At the
But
very
we don't know
least,
if they
to give
do
the
or
police
not.
some credit, they are putting out a press release about every day, maybe every 2 days. With
Here's the thing: we don't know how much progress they've made, and that's okay. We shouldn't know. We shouldn't have a fucking single clue. If those cops are smart, they'll keep all that information from us, except for if they absolutely need help, like identifying this white car. I get it.
At least a little nugget of information, new info that we can provide to the viewers and hopefully move this case forward. So to their credit, at least they're sharing some information of this case.
Why is that to their credit?
Alex, it might not be great for TV and the news folks like us, but they are working on solving the case, and I don't mean to disparage them in any way. I know they're working hard on this. Alex, thank you for that.
Yeah, my question is why should they share anything with us? That seems like a dumb move, right? Idaho families do begin to receive the belongings.
Crime scenes, and we're not immune to murder scenes, and they all are unique, but rarely do we see something like this happen, in a murder investigation. It just sort of stops you in your tracks, and I assume that's sort of the same for the police officers who were conducting this. It's not a normal task for them either.
Yeah, you could just tell me, again, no one was talking. The police were just walking back and forth. You could see it on their faces that they were upset and disturbed doing this. And then there was this U-Haul. I don't know, I keep thinking back to the U-Haul because it was clearly the chief's intention to back the U-Haul all the way to the door so that they could just make a quick trip and put it in the back. But again, it's so snowy, it's so icy, he literally could not get the U-Haul up the driveway.
Damn.
So it caused the police to have to make these long trips back and forth, and you could see the look on their faces. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them have children.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I can see in your video that I called it a grim task, and that's exactly what it is. It's also a solemn one. I want to move a little bit towards the break so far, the only break.
I guess my question is how I mean, they got to be removing some sort of evidence like that by doing this. I just feel like it's too early in the case to start fucking up the crime scene. You know what I mean?
The only lead that the police have been able to tell us about, and that's a car. They're actually now looking for a specific car, a Hyundai Elantra, a white car. What do we know about it? What specifically are they looking for? Why that car? What kind of vicinity are we talking about? Tell me everything that they've been able to impart on us.
So they have told us that they're looking for this Hyundai Elantra, white in color. We've got a picture. It's not the actual car, but it's a stock photo. This is what they believe the car looks like. It's interesting that this development is coming 3 weeks out. What caused them to suddenly release this to us, we don't know. They are not saying that the people in the car are responsible for the murders. They're saying that they may have information that could be very, very helpful to the investigation, and that car was seen in the immediate proximity to the house on November 13th, early in the morning, around the time of the murder. So they're
That obviously came from the body cam footage. So I can understand why they're taking that direction. Now, here's the thing, man. There's still a lot out here in regards to Jack. There's a lot of people believing it's him. And everybody that keeps saying to me, you don't know that he went to Africa. I didn't say I did know. But the news is reporting it in so many different areas. Now, yes, it's still rumors. Yes, it's all of this. I do know that they consistently go to Africa for missionary work. And let me ask you a question. If Jack wasn't in Africa and Jack was here, wouldn't he have came out and said, hey, I'm not in Africa? Wouldn't he have already done this? Think about that. Think about the neighbor, Jeremy. When everybody in the internet started going at him, he said, man, fuck. And he came out and said, no, I'll take a DNA test. How come Jack isn't doing that? Just kind of curious. They consistently talk about this whole thing is about the mysterious man. They're talking about it. And they eventually come out here and they say that Jack is rumored to not be in the country. This man right here, this James Curtis man, I'm just saying, the James, the James Curtis man is obviously a new suspect. So what do we got right now, guys? The front door is being rumored to have been left open, which I think that changes a little bit of things. Plus, we have the car that's being sought out. I actually have a new suspect that I'm kind of looking at and looking into. I'm curious what you guys think about this, but the whole Jack thing, let me make this clear. For all of you people that didn't realize how quick Jack Showalter's house, his apartment was to these girls, now you know. Not just that, Jack Showalter was followed by Maddie. So Jack was not just some stranger at the grub bus. He wasn't just some stranger. And that is what you need to keep in mind. And because when you look at that, you have to ask yourself, when them girls wanted a ride home, how come they didn't trust Jack Showalter to give them the ride home? Jack Showalter had a vehicle, remember? He drove 5 hours to his mom's cabin immediately after that. Jack lives by their house. If they trusted Jack, why wouldn't have they just asked him for a ride home? Ask yourselves that. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. If you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. I'm going to get up out of here. I know a little bit less energy today with this, but this entire case is draining. I will be starting to do my Delphi suspects. We're going to take them individually. And I understand a lot of you guys believe it's Richard Allen. I'm not the biggest fan of that theory. We're going to be breaking down the Delphi suspects one by one as we move along with this channel. I'll keep you guys updated on this story, on everything that's going on. But for you guys that didn't know how close Jack Showalter was to them girls, now you see. He's walking distance. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. I'm out.